then they met that way.
What was the most memorable moment of your childhood? All the way up to graduating high school.
Dang, that's a hard question. I don't really have one memorable moment. I don't really have one. There's a bunch.
Well, what are they? What stood out to you?
Stood out to me. Seeing my dad build the house by himself was memorable. Him like being there for us throughout our entire life when seeing like some of my other family members not have a dad. So that's like memorable throughout my entire childhood. Yeah. Just seeing the different things that we got.
We're live. Another episode, Adversity Kings. Special guest today, Odell Miller, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go, bro. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Long-ass day, but having fun, getting work done, getting things done. So I'm excited to have you on the podcast and just chat it up, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. What are you working on right now?
As far as what?
Life.
Working on getting my doctorate, physical therapy.
Yes.
Working on building 2 businesses. Working on growing my mind. That's what I do.
What is the difference between a doctorate and a PhD?
So a doctorate. So I'm getting my clinical doctorate. So that's like a medical doctor, chiropractor. And then the PhD is, you can get a PhD in almost anything. You get a PhD in art. So it's not like a clinical doctorate, if that makes sense.
Which one's more sophisticated?
I mean, both are really good. I don't want to put one over the other.
Which one allows you to abbreviate?
Doctor?
Yes.
You can say doctor to both.
Okay, you can.
But as far as like a healthcare specialist, you are a clinical doctor.
Which one's a clinical doctor?
So physical therapy, like an MD.
The PhD is?
No, not PhD. So it's a DR, then there's a PhD. So the DR is like a physician, a doctor of physical therapy.
Yeah.
Chiropractors, dentists.
So like the people that do surgery, do they need a clinical doctorate or do they need a
clinical doctorate?
PhD? A
clinical doctorate. Actually, what's fascinating, so like all my professors, they have like 2 or 3 doctorates, which is crazy.
Okay.
So they have their clinical doctorate, and then, so basically PhD is like research. So they're a clinical doctor, and then they did a lot more research and got another doctorate. So they're like triple doctors.
So they got PhDs because PhD is research.
Yeah, but they have their clinical doctorate as well.
Okay.
And then they got their PhD.
Oh, so
and that sounds like professors and stuff mostly. Yeah.
Okay. And so what you're working on is the clinical doctorate,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not just research. What is it? What is that?
So it does entail research, but so basically, as a physical therapist is like a movement specialist. So I help people relieve their pain and get back from injuries without the use of surgery and pharmacology. So that's our goal. But yeah.
What made you want to get into that?
All my life, I've been into sports. I've been into fitness. So I knew I wanted to do something like with the body. And I've always been into working out, but I didn't want to just be a personal trainer. I wanted to take it to the next level. Then I love like the recovery aspect and the different things that I can do with my doctorate.
So does a physical therapist have a chiropractor, like, I don't know, skill set?
So those 2 fields are very similar. Sometimes people in both, they'll like go against each other. I think everything in the medical field has a place. But what we do is kind of similar, but they mainly just do things they mainly do things based on the spine and alignment.
Yeah.
But we do that as well. Like we do manipulations as well. Our techniques are different. But in the aspect of like the healthcare field, we're like, you would see us in the hospital and stuff, but you wouldn't see them in the hospital.
So if you wouldn't see them in a hospital, why would you see a physical trainer or a physical therapist in the hospital? And that's for recovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got into physical therapy because it was inspired from your sports background.
Yep.
Now, where were you born?
I was born in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Which
is only like 2.5 hours away.
And what moved you to Chicago?
So, school, literally.
School?
Literally school, yeah.
What school moved you to Chicago?
The best in the nation, Midwestern University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you study for your clinical doctorate?
Yep, that's where I'm still at. I got a year left.
So how many years have you put into school for college?
Altogether, 7.
So
7.
it does take like 8 years.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a significant amount of school.
But in between, so I did 4 years of undergrad, which I played football at Western Michigan University.
Yes.
And I did 5. And then I took a year off to pursue NFL dreams.
Yes.
Went to the Cleveland Browns and the Redskins. And then I started my doctorate. So, yeah, it's about 7 so far.
Now, before jumping into all that, what was growing up for you like?
I was very... I had a good upbringing. So my dad is actually from Chicago. He was born and raised here. He had a rough upbringing. And then he went to Battle Creek, Michigan, and then built an amazing life for himself. Ended up building our house for us. He came from nothing. Then my mom is from New York. Similar thing for her. And then she ended up becoming a college professor and building an amazing life for themselves, and then built a house. And then I grew up pretty well off, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what did your childhood look like though? Like, what was school like?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have siblings? What did it really look like?
So it looked so before high school, so we built our house when I was in 5th grade, but I stayed in an area called Battle Creek, which was it was a mixed. Actually, it was primarily black. And then for high school, I went to a wealthy white community.
Yeah.
So I got 2 different aspects.
Yeah.
In my childhood, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which has benefited me to this day. It got me a lot of places. But yes, I have 7 siblings. 6. I think I make 7. I don't know right off the top of my head, but yeah.
And your parents still together?
Mm-hmm.
And how'd they meet?
They met through my uncle. My uncle is my mom's brother. Then my dad knew him when he went to Battle Creek, and then they met that way.
What was the most memorable moment of your childhood? All the way up to graduating high school.
Dang, that's a hard question. I don't really have one memorable moment. I don't really have one. There's a bunch.
Well, what are they? What stood out to you?
Stood out to me. Seeing my dad build the house by himself was memorable. Him being there for us throughout our entire life, when seeing some of my other family members not have a dad. So that's memorable throughout my entire childhood. Yeah. Just seeing the different things that we got to do that
Were
I
you
knew.
in sports growing up? So
yeah.
did you guys ever do anything significant? Did you win anything? Anything stand out? Any trips and memories and shit like that?
One of the biggest memories of my life is, I wasn't a good one, but I got cut from a basketball team.
Yeah.
In middle school. Best thing that ever happened in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get cut for?
I got cut from a basketball travel team, and it literally created some type of fire in me that just isn't out to this day. So that was a big memory. So it's a negative, but it was a huge positive.
How was it adapting from being in more of when you went from, you said you started out, your school was mainly black, and then you went to more of a sophisticated or higher wealthy white school. What was that like?
At first it was different, but I adjusted really well just because of sports and stuff like that. So I'm glad it happened, because literally it just changed my perspective on what was possible.
Yeah.
Before going there, I never been on the lake going tubing and jet skiing and doing that type of stuff. I didn't know about that. So I went there and opened my eye to an entire different world.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then all my life I struggled. Cause even when I was in the black community, they'll say I don't know your upbringing, but you don't act black.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So it was always a struggle there too.
Yeah, yeah.
But then obviously I was black in the white community as well. So I've always been like
a black sheep.
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Exactly.
But I can definitely relate to that. And then I think also as you started to graduate school, what made you decide on college?
Made me decide on college. Sports. It was never really even like it was never an option to not go to college, if that makes sense. Not because of my parents, but it was never like in my mind not to go to college.
Yeah.
But my take on college. So I knew I wanted to go on and do this.
Yes.
So I had the decision to go do exercise science or business because I'm very entrepreneurial.
Yes.
So I was like, I can always do business without a business degree, so I don't necessarily need to go learn business. So I went to go get the exercise science degree, and then that allowed me to go play football as well. Then I was like, okay, NFL, or I would get my doctorate. So that was my thing.
Yes. So what made you decide on? Now you went to undergrad first, and where was that?
Western Michigan University.
And then where's your grad program?
Midwestern University. Yeah, so it's two.
Okay, so you played at Western Michigan University. So what was that experience like? And or what division are they?
Division I. We played Illinois, NIU. Like we played Wisconsin in the Cotton Bowl. So yeah, we're Division I.
What were some of your favorite memories playing ball?
Cotton Bowl for sure. Like I said, that's like a top 4 bowl game in college football. So that was amazing. We went undefeated that season. Also, I started off as a walk-on.
Yeah.
So that story about my basketball in middle school, that's like really been my life story. And it literally pushed me to do whatever I want. So I came on as a walk-on, and then I ended up earning a scholarship. So that was very significant. So
did you play football in high school?
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have offers for football?
Yeah, because I didn't decide. So basically, I love basketball. So I played basketball all my life, and I was like, I want to go play basketball. But I was a big man, and at 6'4", you need to be a point guard in the NBA. So I was like, senior year, last minute, I was like, maybe I should go play football.
Yeah.
And then I just sent my film to a couple schools with the help of my coaches, and then they came to visit me at school and was like, hey, like everyone's already signed, but we can offer you as a walk-on, and then if you make an impact, you can earn a scholarship. And that's exactly what I did.
So how quickly did you earn a scholarship?
I was on scholarship 3 out of the 5 years.
So complete, like they take care of everything?
Everything. Crazy.
Wow. So basically you only had to pay for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't bad.
It's not bad at all. So
That's
they paid
like
for
kind of
that.
a steal.
Yeah, exactly. They paid for that. And then even through the 2 years, like you get food, it's crazy. You get a stipend. Like I know players can get paid now, but they're doing like stipends, which I don't know the difference, but
yeah,
which is really cool.
So, did you have any like standout plays or statistics or anything that, like, what led to you being able to like make the NFL essentially?
Mm-hmm. Not really any standout plays or nothing. Just like I told you, like adversity. Like I just feel like if I put my mind to something, I can do it. Although I didn't make it long in the NFL. Like I went to the 2 teams, tried out for them, didn't make it long. I also switched positions. I had to put on like 30 pounds in like a couple months, so that was very difficult. So my body wasn't used to it. So I played tight end in college, and then I think like it was split in half. I had like 13 teams who called me. Half wanted O-line because I was super athletic for my size, and then half wanted tight end, and I just went with the person that had one more, and that was O-line. So I transitioned and tried to learn an entire new position before the highest level. So that was very difficult.
Yeah.
But it was really cool though. But like I was saying, like you would see that as like a failure because I didn't make it long. But that was like the biggest success because, like I told you, like I got cut from a high school basketball or middle school basketball team.
Yeah.
I was a walk-on. So like thinking about all of that, it's like I'm here, and only like a couple of people made. Like the statistics are crazy.
Oh, absolutely
crazy.
Now, did you make the team?
Mm-hmm.
So which team did you make? Both teams?
No, I didn't. So I went to the mini camp.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to mini camps. So they just like flew me in. We had a mini camp with Cleveland Browns, and then I went to mini camp with the Washington Redskins, which is now the Washington football team or something like that.
Yeah. So you try out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the midst of the year off. What do you do? What's all going on in your mind at this point? You know what I mean? Like, what's all happening in your life?
It was wild because like you can literally be called at any second from a team like that year off. So once you decide to not do it, you decide not to do it. So I was like, all right. And I have friends who are still in the NFL that get signed to a team for a week, and then they go off. Get signed for 2 weeks, go off. Like I didn't want to. Like I know I had more to my life than that.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's not like a good thing to do, but I knew that I needed to move on from it. Like I was either going to make it or not. And then the XFL started. I was actually going to go on a team for that, and I was like, I don't know if I want to chase this thing forever. Like I know I have more to myself. So I applied to grad school actually that year, and then I got accepted, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go do this thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you go and you do it. And what made you decide on doing your grad program at it's
Midwestern?
Midwestern.
Yeah, right down the street. They accepted me.
So it was just your first option,
Yeah,
and it just
yeah. Literally, like the degree doesn't matter. So as you know, I'm super entrepreneurial. So like the degree, where I get it from, that doesn't matter. Grades, the person with a C in the class gets the same degree as the person with an A in the class. That's like my mentality for this.
Yeah.
And my mentality with the school too. Like I don't care where the school, like just give me an opportunity to come and get my doctorate and let me run and do the rest.
So now are you on full scholarship also for?
No.
You got to pay for it all?
Yeah, no, these expensive. So it's just a post-grad program. So like there's only like physicians on campus, pharmacists, dentists, us, PAs, stuff like that. So it's all like healthcare. There's no like sports or anything like that.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, it was intimidating walking on campus, especially I'm like one of the few African Americans on campus.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in my program. Only one in my program.
For real? I feel like this is a very diversified like state. I feel like
I know, right? But the higher I've seen as I get an education,
yeah,
the less and less black people I see.
yeah,
Because it's only it's like 3.8% of doctors of any profession is black.
damn,
Crazy statistic.
yeah, that is
3.8.
that's insane.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to want to be? I guess kind of reverting back to like what inspired you to want to be like
Mhm.
what like a physical. So did it start with the high school sports that made you want to be a doctor and a physical?
Yeah,
therapy?
kind of. So I always wanted to do like, at first it's crazy. Like even now things are changing, but like I want to do like personal training and do like a business. Then I was like, I'm trading my time for money. And I was like, let me see how I can do something different. Then I always want to be at the highest level of what I do.
Yeah.
Call it cocky, call it whatever you want, but like that's just me. If I do something, I go all in.
Yeah.
So doing that, I was like, well, let me go and get my doctorate and go to the highest level. And then now someone like I want to work with high level athletes. So Odell Miller versus Dr. Odell Miller want to train. Who are you going to pay more, Dr. Odell Miller or Odell Miller?
The doctor.
Who are you going to listen to more, Odell Miller, Dr. Odell Miller?
Now, can't you just say, before your name, just doctor? You know what I mean?
You could.
Is that
some
illegal?
people, I don't know.
I'd be doing that.
I feel like some people you could do what you want.
I used to fuck around in my emails and just respond. I'd be like, "Thank you, Dr. Tristan."
That's hilarious.
And they'd be like, "What the fuck?" No, like 18, 19, selling insurance.
I'm dead.
Responding back whatever I wanted. Thank you for your time, Dr. Dlabik.
That's
Here,
hilarious.
ready to serve. So that's dope, though.
Yeah.
The credibility that comes with
Mm-hmm.
with that title is insane. So
It is crazy.
now, what other businesses are you working on simultaneously then?
So I have a business called Off the Bench. So it's an app where I do one-on-one online personal training and nutrition coaching.
It's an app.
It's an app.
So you made an app?
I have a couple apps. So my first business I started when I was transitioning to the NFL. It's called Fly Rentals. Do you know like the scooters, Bird and Lime?
Kind of.
In like big cities and stuff?
Yeah.
So basically I went at our bowl game actually. So it was my senior year bowl game and I saw these scooters on the street and I was like, what are these scooters doing? Like I've never seen them over here. And I was like, so I went up to it, downloaded the app and I was like, wow, this would do really well on college campuses. So literally that night and the next few weeks, I started looking for manufacturers and I was like, I need to figure this thing out. So it took me a year to build, put it together. And then I started that business in Kalamazoo. And then there's a ton of logistics behind it as far as like the city wanting to get in on contracts and wanting you to pay them a lot of money. And And then COVID hit. So I actually had a meeting with the mayor of the city that I wanted to put my first like fleet in. COVID hit the day of, like a couple hours before, and they canceled like school and all that. And he was like, I can't meet. Like, we have other stuff going on. And then that was like a shock. And then this business, OTB, off the bench, is doing really well. So I do one-on-one online workout and personal training.
How are you making the apps? Do
They're
you make
easy.
them
You
yourself?
heck no. You find someone to make them.
For real?
Yeah.
How do you
easy.
find? I feel like I've Googled like app creator or something.
Yeah.
That's like, it's always like a dead end. So like, how do you find someone to make?
Man, I can help you find someone to make whatever app you want.
For real?
It's a commodity now. Like, everyone wants to know how to code and stuff. So like, yeah.
Damn. And it's like just gets published on the App Store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn.
So I have 2 apps on there right now. So the first one, Fly, I made for myself. Like we made it from scratch. I came up with the ideas from scratch.
Yeah.
Which I would probably never, ever, ever do again. Unless I have some crazy idea, because that's like a headache. Because I had to be the one to like.
Now, do you have any fleets out there now?
No.
Not yet.
They're all done. Like, COVID hit, so I stopped last summer. I think I was doing like leasing rentals.
Yeah.
And trying that model out, but it wasn't cash flowing as much as I knew something else that I could like. It's not cash flowing like OTB is.
Yeah.
OTB is like no overhead. I'm making money sitting here. Like.
Yeah, I always thought that when I see kind of the online coaches, I'm like, what are their overhead expenses? Like none. You know what I mean?
Zero.
So, if you got 100 people paying $50 a month, you know, you're making $5,000 a month or whatever.
$50 a month, even more.
Yeah, dude.
Way more.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
That's nuts. And all you got to do is like work out, look good. And
exactly. Post and be consistent on social media.
Yeah.
And then that's when I put the doctor title on it. My prices now go from $300 a month to $600 a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then now you're working high level. It's just a big thing.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to make Off the Bench, right?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've like from the beginning, I've always been like in elementary, middle school, always like flexing the mirrors, trying to like look good, trying to like put on muscle. So I've always been into that. And then I just kept like stimulating my mind, just reading and just watching things. Like, how can I, like watching the trainers in my gym. No disrespect to anybody who does online or in-person training, but you have a ceiling effect and you're burned out. Like, what are you going to do? Okay, you got 8 clients a day for an hour. Okay, now how do you double your income? You can't see 16 hours a day.
You got to do online coaching.
Yeah, and you're burned out. And then the gyms are taking like 40% cuts. So I said, how can I like get through all that? And then I was like, it aligns with my doctorate. And then I have like a plan. So it won't just be that. Yeah.
So, but the inspiration for the name and everything, where did that come from?
Off the Bench actually started off from, I think, from football, like Off the Bench. And like I was going to do it was actually going to be like a podcast when I was doing Fly. So I love documenting. So like I vlog and stuff, and I just keep videos for myself, and I post some on YouTube as well. But I was documenting the scooters, and then I was like, I should do like a little business podcast called Off the Bench. Like I'm done with football, like off the bench. What am I doing now?
Yeah.
And then I just transitioned that name to this, and I love it.
So what's your favorite part of your Off the Bench business?
My favorite part, honestly, is helping and impacting people. Like, people struggle. So it's crazy. Like, some things that you would think is so easy. Like, for me, working out is like a non-negotiable. Taking care of my body is a non-negotiable. But some people don't know where to start and know where to go. So I'm like, I have all this knowledge and how to. So now being able to like help other people do that, and with the knowledge that I'm getting from school, with my doctorate of physical therapy, it's like, dang, I actually can help a ton of people.
What are some of the coolest things you've learned about the body?
Very complex. That's one of the coolest things. It's just very complex. Like, just how everything works. Like, I can't pinpoint one thing, but just how your brain communicates to the rest of your body is just wild.
What's the most important thing to do to build muscle?
Most important thing to build muscle, I would say progressive overload.
Which is
you need to overload the muscle to grow. You need to provide more resistance than what your muscle can handle.
So you need to work out hard.
Mm-hmm. And you can do that by super high reps, or you can do that by lower weight. Well, traditionally you do it by lower weight or higher weight, lower reps.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what about diet? Have you studied that at all?
Yes, but that's not like part of my doctor or anything. That's just like
No?
on my own. So I'll hire nutritionists and stuff, but right now I do all of my nutrition and I do basic like macro coaching.
Yeah.
So like the diet is very important.
I hired a nutritionist a couple months ago.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
How's
definitely
that?
different. It's been phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Now, back into the body and the things that
Mm-hmm.
I would say with what it is you've learned, is there anything that stands out that you think people need to know for their overall health? What is something people can take and implement and apply to their lives?
I think everyone needs to take their health more serious. It blows my mind how people take better care of their houses, cars, than they do their body. Like one of my favorite things to say is like, your body is the only place that you have to live in for the rest of your life. You can move cars, you can move houses, you can move towns, you can move cities, you can move countries, but you cannot leave your body.
Yeah.
So like, why are we taking better care of our pets than we are our own bodies?
Yeah.
So like, that's one of the takeaways. Like, take it serious, because once your health is compromised, like, you can no longer go do the things that you're like doing instead of taking. Like, you'd be surprised on how many people message me and say, "Oh, I want help," and they're like, "But I just don't have time." I'm like, okay, what are you putting in place for that? "Oh, I have to work. I have to go do this. Watch Netflix." I'm like, okay. As soon as your health becomes compromised, you can't do any of those things. And now you're in a real bad situation. You can't make money.
Yeah.
Everything's taken away from you. You don't go to work. Like, it's just important. And it doesn't have to be crazy. Like, I have different clients of different calibers. Like, I'm working with a guy who's working on getting back to the NBA. And I'm working with someone who's just 350 pounds, wanted to get under 300 pounds. So I have a wide caliber, and their programs are truly different. And then I push a big lifestyle change. Like, people think like on Instagram, you see some videos of people doing like crazy stuff, which is cool. But some people think that that's what they need to do to lose weight. That's not sustainable. Some clients never even hit a treadmill. They just walk. Walk on the treadmill, do a little resistance training. They don't need to run. I don't run at all.
Yeah.
Besides like agility and training, because I still train like I'm an athlete, because who knows what can happen in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say in regard to stretching? How important is stretching?
Stretching is very, very important. So each of my clients, they get 2 stretch routines every week. It's very important, especially for like as you get older too, because like it's like a rubber band. When that rubber band dries up and then you try to stretch it, that's how stuff starts to break. So like you need that to be elastic, so you can get in positions. And then especially for my athletes, like I told you, I work with high-level athletes, super important for them, especially like in football and like different sports. Landing awkwardly, getting hit awkwardly, you being flexible and being able to like deform that way and come back is like everything. But if you do that, if your muscles are tight and you do like the wrong way, you're done.
Yeah.
So
now, are there any studies you've done or come across that show or prove that if you do something or eat something, it'll improve your overall health, or things that people don't typically know?
I see a lot of stuff like that. I haven't done any studies myself, no, but I see a lot of, everyone pushes their own like thing, which is okay. Like, I don't believe in like fad diets. I don't give my clients fad diets. I believe in like lifestyle changes. So like, say you like eating chicken. All right, let's figure out a way to make chicken be in your lifestyle. All right, oh man, I love ice cream. All right, you can eat a Halo Top twice a week. It's about a lifestyle change. It's not about a fad diet, because a lot of times people go on a diet for like 2 months and then what do? They put it all back on right when they're done.
Yep.
Because you got to teach them how to lifestyle. You got to teach them. And that's a big thing too about me, is like education, educating my clients. Like, I can give them water all day, but why not show them where the water is so they can drink as long as they want?
Now, who's been the most influential person in your entire life?
My dad, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how so?
Just seeing him come from Chicago, like he grew up rough, and to build the life that he did, and like to stay in my life the way he did, to teach me the things that he, like, it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. Like, even the entrepreneur stuff. He started where he had a pizza shop called Fox Pizza, and now he has a car shop. But like growing up, I would cut yards and stuff, and he would like teach me the basic principles without me knowing. Like, I would cut a yard, I would get like $30 elementary, and he's like, "Oh, but you need to put $10 up for gas in the to pay for the lawnmower. I'm like, why do I need to do that? You're paying for that. Like what? But it was like the basic principles that taught me that I'm just taking literally what he has and trying to take it to the next level with the education and stuff.
Now I see, you also read a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Oh man, I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People right now, which is crazy that it's my first time reading it. But this book is like changing my life as I go on how to like talk to people. And it's like, it's slowly, like I see you read a lot too, which I really love. And then also thank you for sending me those quotes and stuff every day. Like I love that stuff, man.
I be trying to send them to a few people. Sometimes I feel like I'm annoying because
no, send that every day, please.
Sometimes I read all day, so like I just be sending shit to people. I'm like, yeah, they're probably annoyed.
No, I love that, man. Like Anyway, but like I said, I love that we connected. Like it's just I feel like an alien sometimes.
Yes, you do.
Like
you do.
So when I found out, I was like, I gotta connect with him. Like he probably feels the same way.
That's how we felt when we were in them white schools.
Literally, man. Literally.
Sometimes you feel like that though when you're in a black school and you're black or you're mixed. You know what I mean? Because I've been told many times I don't act black. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot of different music I listen to. From rock to just different things where many different times. You know what I mean? Like I don't act or I don't have a in my enunciation. Sometimes like the way I speak. So
true.
I've always just kind of gone with the flow and just get respect from humans. I think it's racist for black people to say to other black people you aren't like if a white person said that, then it would be like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But like we as like brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, in the black community, it's like we can't be checking people on like how they talk. If anything, like this one time I sold an individual in Tennessee, a black doctor, and he was a medical doctor. Big house. And I'm walking up to this house thinking, all right, some white dude's going to answer. And black dude answered, clean looking black dude, sits me down, everything like that, bought like a $600, $700 a month policy. And basically how you get paid in insurance is you get anywhere from like 6 to 12 times whatever you sell the person monthly. So I made like $3-4 grand in a half hour.
Dang.
And, another half hour he spent just educating me because I saw this piece of art on his wall. And I was like, what is that? It said Black Wall Street. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, well, it was actually one of the most wealthiest towns in America. And it was like bombarded and bombed by America. And I was like, what the fuck? But I'm thinking to myself, it's like these individuals were probably highly sophisticated and extremely wealthy and intelligent individuals where they're circulating their own funds in their own community. I think it was in Missouri or Wisconsin or something. It was. Let me look it up real quick. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the name has slipped me. I know where it's at. I just
see Black Wall Street. But I was like, man, dude, like it's so. Tussle, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma. That's where it's at. Yeah. Yep. I don't know why I couldn't. That
Tussle Race Massacre. So the Tussle Race Massacre took place on May 31st and June 1st, 1921, when mobs of white residents, some of whom had been deputized and given weapons by city officials, attacked black residents and destroyed homes and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa. So basically like internal terrorism in our own country. And I'm not trying to, like rehash and shit like that, but because I'll go on a whole tangent and things like that. But for me, the positive is thinking back to ancestry and to people that, because again, being a young black dude, usually the successful black people we look up to all got to be in the NFL and NBA.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Bro, that's it. Okay, that's
like
what
you a ball player, son.
Yeah.
Like, no, we have brains. You know what I mean?
You know one of my huge missions is, since I was on that side, like, it's crazy. When people see me, they don't think, like, you wouldn't think doctor of nothing.
Nah.
They were an athlete.
Yeah.
If they see me with a lot of money, oh yeah, he's an athlete or something.
Yep.
So me being able to hit him with like, oh, how you doing? Dr. Odell Miller is going to be the best thing ever. And then going back, like I want to speak to kids and stuff I have done in the past and I still will. Like showing them, like it's cool to be able to say like, oh yeah, I've been at this side of it. So they're like, oh yeah, you're so cool. Talk a little NFL with them. Then I'm like, then also this education, to make education look cool. Yep. And to maintain, like, I'm walking around campus with a mohawk full of like I said, professors with 3 doctorates and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that sticks out? And coming in, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to like start dressing and talking different and
Yeah.
like, and I was like, wait, what? I was like, no, this is what they need to see.
Yes.
And especially in my program, like, I feel a little weight on my shoulders sometimes. You probably feel the same way sometimes when you're like,
Yeah.
you're in the room with like a lot of wealthy, like white people.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I have to act a certain way. Like this is, and then you think that like, you don't want to mess it up for other black people.
Yeah.
So like you're their only window into the black community other than what they see on TV.
Yeah. And it can get intimidating because sometimes the aura in the room will just feel weird. You know what I mean? Because I kind of forget that like I'm a human also. And I almost start to feel like, man, they're just thinking I'm some black kid. You know what I mean? Some little mixed kid. And I don't deserve to be in this room. And
then you have to act like you have to try to make your.
Yeah. And it, you know, you check yourself real quick and it's like, nah, that ain't how this is going to work. You know what I mean? I don't need to go out and be egotistical, but you know what I mean? Like this is an equal playing field, you know? So it's cool to develop your mind and play around with different thoughts and, you know, figure out for yourself, just as an individual, as a human being, like what's going to be most profitable long-term for the interactions I'm going to have with these humans today, with these circumstances and situations and just navigating through life and just kind of seeing things from different angles and different perspectives. So,
I love that. I love being an enigma, like to people, like even my classmates, like they're all cool and stuff, but I bet their view of like a black person that they see has changed based on me. Like they're like, whoa, like this, we can't figure this guy out. And I love that because like we need to break the stereotype. Like I can't wait to be able to say, yeah, Dr. Odell Miller, but I'm dressed urban.
Yes.
Like who cares?
Yep.
I love that.
Absolutely, bro.
I love that.
So what about passions outside of everything you do?
Business is my passion.
You don't have an escape? I got an escape. I like movies.
Movies?
Yep.
What's your favorite movie?
Well, you're looking at one right behind me, Scarface. But right now, number one for me is still King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. But I got like a list of like 40.
I see the Wolf of Wall Street in your office, right?
Yes, Wolf of Wall Street's up there. One of my favorite movies. The Star Wars collections. Those are some of my favorite movies. Significant movie lover. Yeah.
So right now, honestly, working out is like my getaway. Like I love being able to like, especially with like working from your phone and working online. Like, as you know, sometimes it's hard to separate life from business, especially when it's like so combined.
Yeah.
As far as like my clients being on my phone or new leads coming in or calls or whatever you have it. So at the gym, I love being able to set my phone down and go work out for an hour and just listen to music. Don't look at my phone. Don't look at study anything while I study on elliptical. But then also like it will change once I graduate. So like right now I'm in the grind phase of my like 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I got to be in school 8 hours and study. So
yeah, I didn't watch any movies really my first 2.
Yeah, because you're in the grinding.
Years. Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
Yes. Yeah. So everybody has to. You're gonna have to. I think your first. You know, you're really foundational years are 5 to 7 years in my opinion for any business. But your first 2 are like the micro foundation. And so you're digging up the dirt and kind of just analyzing the land in regard to where you're going to pour the concrete. And that's just all an analogy for your life. You know what I mean? Digging up the trash and the garbage and you're getting rid of all that stuff. And it takes an extreme amount of focus and it takes time and it takes sacrifice. And you know, when you study success, you find out success is uphill and it's uphill the whole way.
And that's where most people quit.
Yep.
I get messages all the time. How are you doing all this on top of school? Like I can barely pass school without doing this. I have no other choice. I don't know. Like you said, what are your passions? Like the time that I can spend on my passions are the only time I can spend on my business. So I know my end goal, like this is going to be my entire life, but I know for what the goal that I have, which is to open up multiple physical therapy clinics, have a big online presence for OTB, and whatever else comes.
Yes.
But I know I need to grind. Like there's no other way. There's no other option.
Yes. So what about favorite food?
Favorite food? That's a good question.
It's another one of my
passions.
This is
I love pizza.
Oh,
I love chicken wings.
Yeah.
Oh man, Giordano's pizza here. Oh my goodness.
Giordano's pizza is fire. Ever since I've hired this nutritionist, I haven't been allowed to have it.
He's like, all right, you're fighting for a day so I can get some of this.
Yeah, he got me on this stupid shit. I'll be mad as hell just sneaking peanut butter.
Oh man, peanut butter. Ooh, I'm a big into peanut butter. I saw you eat peanut butter the other day. Yeah,
I'd be sneaking peanut butter. So luckily he don't listen to this. But so
that's awesome.
Let me think here. We talked about your passions. we hit in the business. What about, do you have a referral program? Yeah, I was thinking in regard to off the bench, just a quick way to grow the bit. Do you have a referral program?
So I've actually been, so like the thing about being, like I have to be very selective on which like path I take. I want to do all this, but like I also just hired my first assistant because I had so much stuff on my shoulders, as you know, and we talked about. But I want to set up a referral program. Right now, I have a week off. So even during my week off, I'm like, shoot, I got to grind. So during my week off, I'm actually looking to, I've had people like DM me asking me for internships, like other PT students and stuff, because it's different. And I'm like, how could I like not necessarily take on more clients myself, but teach other people to use their following and brand them to take on clients. So if I can find like 20 trainers that are making whatever K, let's just say 30K a month, and I'm taking whatever percent, why not? I can build up that way as well.
I think you got to be careful with acquisition, though, of other individuals that may not match your
brand.
Yeah,
that's why.
Your morals.
Yeah, exactly.
They represent you.
Exactly. But it's just like hiring an employee. So like in a year, I want to open up my first off the bench clinic.
You got to interview,
Interview and like look at what they do. Like I can look at it sounds bad, but for me, your social media is kind of like a resume. Like I can tell what you're about based on your social media. Like
absolutely.
Based on what you post in your stories. And if it doesn't align, then, but the thing is you can be quick to hire, but then you got to be even quicker to fire. Like, I'm not afraid to fire someone. Like, even bring it on myself. Like if it doesn't work, like I'll say bye. Like there's no problem.
Absolutely. What else is on your mind? What else do you want to talk about, share about? What else do you think we can hit on or share with the audience?
Yeah. Shoot. Just want to pick your brain, man. Like I'm always trying to learn, man. That's why I hit you up in the first place. I was like, I just want to learn. Like I'm all ears. Like what? Let's see. I see you read a lot.
Yeah.
So like, what significance of that would you say? Like what? I know I read too, but like you read a lot.
So the exact question would be like, why do I read so much?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think for me, the one of the quotes that I love, and I believe it's Seneca, and I actually want to quote it directly. That way everybody can get kind of the full value of the quote. But it basically talks on the pursuit of excellence and the way that they indirectly explain it. It's Socrates. And he says, no citizen has a right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. Now, he's referencing physical training. My mind eliminates physical training and just kind of alternates there for just essentially life training, just your self as a being. What a disgrace it is for a man to grow old without ever seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. So again, he's referencing the body. I myself am encompassing this philosophy and this thought of how can I translate this into my entire existence is a pursuit of excellence and spending a majority of my time day to day in pursuing and honing in and sharpening and concentrating and putting my energies collectively and focused into becoming a better individual. And what you'll find is through the eighth wonder of the world, which is compound interest, if I can just grow 10% every single month, every 7 years, I'll double in my worth. So I made my first mill last year. If I just get 10% better every single month and cumulatively annually, you figure in 7 years, I'll be 28, 29. I should shit the bed, make 2. And then at 29, I'll go to 36, whatever. You know what I mean? And I'll make, 4. And then that 4 goes to 8, and that 8 goes to, and it just it compounds. So I think for me, it's not a pursuit surface level minded of here's what it is that I desire from this world, but it's more of indirectly, here's what it is I desire from myself, so that when I do turn in, I do clock out, and I do leave this world, I would love to leave the world with a reflection of I gave it all that I got. And I think that directly corresponds with your internal development. Anytime I've found anybody that's wealthy, truly wealthy, where they have the financial freedom, the physical development, the mental development, and spiritual and emotional stability, it's always been due to daily habits that develop each of those areas. You know, and I think, some people are like, show me your circle and I'll show you your future, and that's absolutely true. But, more importantly, show me your habits, show me your daily habits, and I will absolutely show you your future. Show me what you eat every day. I'll show you what you're going to look like.
Yep. Show
me what your workouts, are you working out every day? I'll show you what you're going to look like. You know what I mean? Show me what you're putting into your mind. Like if you're just watching Family Guy and if you're just wasting opportunity, and like if you're gonna, I have nothing wrong with. I like Family Guy actually, so I'm just saying that, I think a lot of people they think movies and just different things and creativity is just like a waste of life. Everything could be a waste. All the books that I read could be a waste if you don't truly have an intention of absorbing and analyzing and thinking, what could I take from this creative picture, from this motion picture, from this movie, Like I watch something like Scarface and think to myself, how can I implement this legally in my business? You know what I mean? How can I cut down the insurance and flip it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's many things that go into it, but when you boil it down, it does all correspond to just that pursuit of internal excellence.
Yeah, you and I, we have very similar thoughts on a lot of things. So everything you just said, everything I believe. Especially with the habit thing, the habit, man, habits is everything for me as far as how I get things done. Even now, so I took my last final yesterday, so my schedule is a little different. So I find the more busy I get, the better I get with my habits and the more structured I am with my day.
Yes.
Which is weird. And I do better in school too. But now, today I have the whole day off of school. So I'm doing a lot of business. I'm doing this. I'm also going to take a couple hours off to take a break to refresh my mind.
Yes.
But I've really lived my life by habits.
Good sleep is so good for your health. I got this Aura ring and it measures my heart rate variability. And I've been trying to put so much emphasis on trying to get better sleep. I feel like these last 5 years, I've probably averaged 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night.
Oh, man.
And, I know that isn't the best. I can see where I have had some muscle plateau and just some physical fitness plateau from it just hampers you.
But
it hampers you.
That got you to where you are now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would absolutely I would do it over again because I think, I'm in the situation now where it's you can give up. If I'm going to give up something, I'm going to give up in the physical realm and put more time, energy into the mental realm to generate more return on investment, generate more profitability because I'll buy the body back. You know what I mean? I've got a nutritionist. The same individual also draws up a workout plan for me, and I'm able to work with other individuals that there's different things that I've did stem cell. I've done things that are expensive and what I'm able to do now and investing back into my health and my body. Everything I eat is fresh and cooked. 85-90% of my diet is fresh, picked out, and pretty much freshly cooked every 2-3 days. And
I love that.
Eventually I'll be away from all plasticity. Eventually I'll be away from all plastics and microwaves. And it'll just be
I love that.
Fresh.
I'm curious because I know you're super busy. You have a huge team to manage. Do you cook your own food? How do you?
No. So that's all. I pay for all of that to get done. Any opportunity for me to invest back and to minimize the amount of time that I need to exert into anything outside of my mental happiness or my mental profitability in regard to what I know I can bring the most return on through my business in my life. I'm gonna allocate that and take funds and allocate funds to that and do what I can to.
I love that.
So
yeah, I'm not there yet, but in the next couple of years, that'll be one of the first things that I do.
Yes.
Every time I'm cooking, I'm I cannot. I feel like I'm wasting time. I'm this is not worth my time.
And it doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Cook. That's hilarious. So who cooks for you?
So actually, Sarah does the cooking.
Oh, really?
I pay her extra.
Wow.
Yeah. So she does
meal
it all.
prepping and everything.
Yeah, she does it all.
Dang, that's awesome. And that keeps you on your diet.
Yes.
Awesome. And then another question I have, like, how do you structure your day? Like, I know you wake up early too, but like, how do you structure your day as far as like managing your team? You have like meetings, you do this, you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of my development, all of my like me time is the same as you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, my alarm goes off at 4:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I just started back into jiu-jitsu. So with the jiu-jitsu being at night, I'm trying to sleep till 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get up, read a proverb, and try to get another half hour, an hour of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get up and I go to the gym, but it fluctuates from sometimes I'll read 5 to 6, gym 6 to 7, read 7 to 8, meetings start. That's my most consistent schedule
Mm-hmm.
for the last 5 years. That's what I lean towards.
Okay.
But with the emphasis I'm trying to put on sleep, if I don't get to bed, if I have jiu-jitsu and like I gotta get my heart rate down, I gotta chill down and everything like that. If I don't fall asleep till 11 or 12, I'll try to get, because I'll notice drops in my workouts and my feeling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not allowing myself to sleep like 6, I feel like 6 I can be a nutball all day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But and then 8, I'm probably like Putin. Like I could take over the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Stay out of my way if I'm on 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be pretty much the structure. And then 8 to 3 or 4, I'm pretty much in consistent meetings, development.
Mm-hmm.
I typically hit 2 workouts a day, at least 3-4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I hit 2 hours, so I'll go get another workout in between 11 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Meals are all scheduled out. That was an alarm for a meal, so next meal's up and ready, and I got a dinner tonight. But that's pretty much it. 4 to 9, I like to call it, my fireman time. That's when I put
Mm-hmm.
out fires. People have access to me. I'm 24/7 at the office. I stay
Mm-hmm.
at the office 5-6 nights a week, so
Uh-huh.
I'm literally 24/7 here. Makes life very easy,
That's
convenient. And if you're always here, it's almost like it's like when you think of competing against an individual, there's no way you can beat somebody that never leaves. You know what I mean? So it's like, and what people don't realize is just for me, just simply being here, even if it seems like I don't know how someone would seem it would be easy, but like being at the living at the office,
Mm-hmm.
you have to realize, even if I worked half as hard as my competitors,
Mm-hmm.
I live at the office. So I'm getting 4 times the amount of time in the office than they
Yeah.
are. There's 4 times the amount of accessibility. There's 4 times the amount of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is over 4 to 5 years, that's going to multiply and compound to where now it's going to be 200 laps ahead. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just the only way would be as if you then went on a stint of living at the office for twice the amount of time that I initially did to somewhat compete and compare and to
Mm-hmm.
get back to the same level. So I think a big piece is competitive nature for me as well.
I love that. Super competitive too.
Yeah, because if there's an opportunity to, really demoralize the competition, that's
Mhm.
usually the opportunity I'm going to take advantage of.
That makes sense. So is that the goal? Like 5 years, and then you will like kind of
Oh
do
no,
less, or like what's your like?
yeah, no. I think for me, if I like my Chicago operation just started a little Dallas operation, but
Mm-hmm.
for Chicago, I'm cool to rock out the office for 10, 15, 20 years.
And do like you're doing now,
Just do like I'm doing now.
24 hours.
Yeah. I have a big vision of, helping 1 million individuals become millionaires. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening without me doing
Doing
a 20-year
love it.
stint,
I love it.
so it is what it is. Some people probably think it's nuts, but
Mhm.
I find myself, most fulfilled and happiest when I'm just here, saturated in my work.
Your thing, yeah. I love that.
Yes, sir. Anything else you want to talk about? Shout out. Where can people find you? Your businesses?
They can just find me on Instagram at Odell Miller 25.
Dope.
ODELLMILLER.
Dope.
And yeah,
And
reach out if you need anything.
if they're interested in partaking in Off the Bench, is there a sign up link?
So you can message me right on Instagram, and I'll first see if I can help you, because I don't take on everybody,
Okay.
and then we'll get to work. Get on a phone call, see if I can help them.
Dope. Anything else you want to shout out, bring attention to?
That is all, man. I appreciate you, man. Connecting.
Appreciate you, bro.
I
This
love
was
it.
fun.
I love it.
This was good. We're gonna have to do this again.
Yep.
Another one in the books, bro. We got Odell Miller. Go ahead, give him a follow. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.